Yeah, I make pretty divisive Total War videos. You're either going to love it or hate it, but I do give my opinion no matter what it might be, and I generally feel strongly about these things, although I am open to changing my mind, and I do change my mind on things. This is coming from somebody who's been a Total War fan since its inception. That doesn't give me superiority over new people, but I think my voice is important too, just because I've been playing this more than most. But I'm gonna, put myself in front of the firing line again with this video. But this one will probably not be so divisive because it's a positive video regarding Total War Warhammer 2. Before I get into exactly what it is in this game that I'm talking about, I have to give you a short history on the history of what I'm going to talk about. The history of settlement battles in Total War goes something like this. For many people, their first Total War game was Rome. Someone's going to use that as the first game in this iteration. For the most part, that was the game that kind of launched the series. Every settlement in that game you could build walls around, and most AI built walls around settlements. So what you were doing a lot of the time were playing settlement battles. Not only settlement battles, you were playing siege settlement battles in which you had to knock down walls or storm walls. So to fix this, or to break up the constant sieges, what they did in Rome 2 was they made it so that only settlement provinces could have walls. And you couldn't knock them down. You had to storm them, or you had to break down the gates. That was the only way to get in. Or you could knock down the walls with catapults. You know what I'm talking about. This continued with Attila. So basically, you had the province capitals had walls. Everything else did not have walls. The problem with this is how they implemented it, because if you play Attila or Rome enough, you will realize that there are maps that are constantly reused over and over and over and over and over again. Even if the settlements look different in totally different areas, totally different cultures, they are repeated an insane amount. And somebody who's played Rome 2 and Attila a lot, I see this, and it's just I don't want to be reminded of settlements that I've already taken. I don't want to be reminded of the same settlement. I do the same strategy over and over and over again for attack or defense. It's repetitive, and it just takes away from the game. So now that you have some history behind this, why is it such an important thing in Total War Warhammer 2 or Warhammer 1 actually? Warhammer 2 is a better example, is because it breaks the monotony up. Each faction has their capital, and each capital has its own map. You're not going to find, there's two high elf factions. Both of their capitals are different. They look different. Now, as far as settlements, I haven't really played Total War 2 enough, but I can tell you in Total War 1, they were much more varied, so I'm expecting Total War 2 to be the same. The settlements are much more varied. There's a lot different, more types of settlements. You know what I'm saying? It's not 2 or 3. It's more than that. I don't have an exact number. The other thing is, settlements now have the ability to build. You can build walls around them. Now, this brings an interesting thing, because at first people complained, oh, there's too many. Every settlement has walls. You're constantly playing siege battles. But a specific thing to remember is the map for the siege battles in Rome 1. They were the exact same maps with or without walls. They just happened to have a wall around it. They were the exact same maps. In Total War Warhammer 2, they kind of cheat this in a way where if a settlement has walls, you're obviously fighting at that settlement. If it does not have walls, you're actually fighting like on the outskirts. So it does change it up, because you're not having to play on the exact same map with or without walls. It changes it up. If you siege a settlement and it has walls, you're going to fight on one map. If it doesn't, you're going to fight on a different map. And by doing that, it does change it up. Better than any Total War game to date. Better than Attila. I'm saying it now. This feature in Total War Warhammer 2 is better than it is in Attila. Much better. However, saying that, I really don't like fighting on the outskirts of a settlement when I'm fighting for that settlement. It makes it feel insignificant. I understand that it's in the background and that's what you're fighting for. However, it does not make sense for a besieged settlement that has half my numbers to come out and fight me in front of the settlement when they could do a better job in the settlement fighting around it, like cutting off, streets and stuff and tactically fighting. Fighting an open field battle on the outskirts will mean their demise every single time. If it's outnumbered 2-1 is what I'm saying. It doesn't really make any sense, tactically why they would do that. I think it's a streamlined thing. But like I said, at the same time, it breaks up the monotony of constantly fighting on the same, like I said, I don't know how many settlement maps there are in this game. I'm sure there's a lot more than in Attila or Rome 2, but there's not unlimited. Like, it's not like every settlement has their own map. So, if you were fighting on the settlement, you would, if you play a lot, you would have, played on the same map quite a few times. So I'm kind of split on this. Tactically, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense why they would come out. But from a gameplay standpoint, it makes sense because you don't want to be playing on the same map every time with or without walls. There you go. I gave my opinion on this. I'm sure it'll be divisive anyways. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I think the good outweighs the bad here. From a simple gameplay point of view, it makes sense why to do this. But from a realism mode, which if you're playing this game for realism, there's elves. Like, what's going on? But from a tactical point of view, it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of stupid. But, I think many people are playing it just for the gameplay, not for, hardcore realism. If you want to play a very realistic Total War game, you're going to get one of the ones that are actually based off of history. So that's my opinion on this. What do you guys think? Is this a good feature? Is this a bad feature? Should they make every single settlement its own custom map? That would be a lot of maps. That would be the ideal thing, but that would take a lot of work. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.